I have not seen a Birdman video in such a long time, to be honest. Isn't dark chocolate considered healthy? I don't know, to be honest. In moderation, yes, but in normal consumption, probably not, to be honest. We all know the Western side people don't like to, they don't like to do it in moderation, But anyways, let's take a look at a Birdman. Let's take a look at a Birdman video. Man, it's been a while since I've seen a Birdman video. Hey, Kuma. But let's take a look at it real quick. Let's see what we got.
Alright, what's going on, guys? So much has happened over this last, week, 2 weeks, maybe even a month if you want to stretch it. I don't know what happened to the good old days. You guys remember when back in the day, you only had to worry about the Minecraft YouTubers being predators. Now,
Oh yeah, that's true. That is so true. Yeah, because mostly you get it's from the Minecraft community where you get like mostly these allegations or so that they talk to minors and everything.
we got predators hiding in every community. I don't think anything is safe anymore. So I decided the best way for me to go about this is to just talk about all of them in one video. I'm not going to come on here like Chris Hansen every day and upload a new video every time we get a new predator, okay? So I think we got about 4 of them to address in this video. First off, let me just make it clear. I have looked at
Nah,
all
not
of
the
this
rapper.
information about every single situation here in extreme detail on stream. I'm not going to be going super in depth into all the evidence and stuff on
Kai, wait. I just heard something about Kai Cenat's cameraman be like, I don't care much about that. What?
here. I'm not going to be here for 2 hours doing that. But just so we're clear, I do know what I'm talking about. I have spent a lot of time, like hours over the last week, 2 weeks on stream, and we were all just looking at all the different posts by all the different victims and everything on all of these situations. So I do have a pretty good idea of what's going on. So first of all, we have Chris from Mr. Beast. This was the one I was debating on making a separate solo video on. I was kind of waiting to see if more stuff was going to come out. It seems to me as if the situation has kind of died down a little bit. But from all the evidence that I've looked at and all the statements from the various people that have come forward, the guy's clearly a freak, okay? I mean, that shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. I don't think anyone thought the guy was normal. But I also kind of feel like this Chris situation should also be treated with a little bit more seriousness than what I do personally. I kind of like to come on here and make fun of stuff, joke around, and I feel like this situation was a little bit more serious than that because there was some very weird stuff going on, okay? I don't know if we could say technically illegal. I don't know if that's been necessarily proven yet, but it looks very borderline, and it certainly seems like a possibility. But the issue with the whole situation that's kind of impeding the process of figuring out what exactly this weirdo was doing is because we all know Chris is part of a now, I'd call it protected group, especially on places like YouTube, and the discussion keeps getting distracted away from hey, what was he doing with these kids, when that's what it should really be focused on. All the efforts should be put into figuring out how fucking weird this guy was really getting with these kids, you know what I mean? That's what needs to be focused on. Unfortunately, all the focus is on the fact that Chris with the K used to be Chris with the C. And then when people even try to say anything about him, it gets turned into something else. I just called him him.
For me, okay, so for me personally, right, about the Chris Tyson situation, right? The things that he was doing with the minors is the main thing, is what I want to talk about, I don't care about the Shad Man thing, right? I don't care about that specifically, right? It's the part where he talks to inappropriately to minors, That's the big huge thing is I'd rather focus on. I don't know what these other people are trying to focus on specifically. I don't care if you're trans, you're gay, you're lesbian, you're bi, you're straight. I don't give a fuck, dude. If you are talking to minors in a very inappropriate way, that's a big no-no, okay? That's a super super big no-no, okay? I don't give a flying fuck, to be honest.
him like 6 times in this video. I'm sure people are upset about that I said that. The point is, I think it needs to be taken more seriously because this guy was definitely up to some weird shit, and I think we need to find out exactly how fucking weird it got. I know Mr. Beast has basically cut all ties, and he's
The guy case, I'm not sure on. I heard about the dude Chris was talking to a 17-year-old. Chris at the time was 20, not a wild age gap. If that is true, just obey the law of your country. Also, the 17-year-old lied about her age. Interesting. This would be interesting. I don't know about that one, so.
saying there will be an official independent investigation being done on the situation. So we'll see what comes out of that. But from what I have personally looked at, it seems like with the Chris situation, it's like 25 different smaller issues that are all kind of adding up to paint a very weird picture. You know the saying when they say like when there's smoke there's fire? That seems like it would apply.
Hey Mokaba,
here,
thank you for the
definitely
followers.
seems like
So
something
welcome,
weird
hun.
is going on, and they need to get to the bottom of it. But I've seen some other people's videos about the situation. I've seen how people are, discussing it on Twitter, and it's just very unfortunate that, the fact that Chris used to be Chris with a C and now Chris is Ava or Chris with a K or whatever. I don't know.
I thought Chris was always with a K or so. Has it always been with a C? I don't even remember, to be honest. I'll be very honest with you, I don't even remember.
Seems to be getting in the way of figuring out what the fuck actually was going on, and I knew that would happen. We all knew that would happen, but it's just like, that's not important. Like, let's put that to the side and let's figure out what the hell this dude was doing with these kids. That's what needs to be figured out. But anyways, that's enough about Chris. Next up, we got MrTLexify. Now this is more...
Who the fuck is this? Who the hell is this person? Who is this person? I've never heard of this person before. Oh, great. Let me guess. Is this another one that also talked to minors too?
For my style. I actually recorded while we were reading all of the messages on stream, and I was gonna post the video, but after going through all the messages, I didn't realize how fucked up they were gonna be, because there's probably maybe 25% of the messages that I genuinely don't think I can post on YouTube. There's at least...
Ooh. Oh, that's not good.
Least 2 or 3 of them that I'm 99% sure if I put that message on the screen, this video would get taken down. So without those messages, I don't think the situation is as funny. Don't get me wrong, he's certainly a real sick fucker as well. Without a doubt, we've seen all these messages. There's definitely some real sick shit going on there as well. But at the same time, a lot of these messages are hilarious. I'll give you guys a little preview of them. If you haven't seen them on Twitter, he tweeted them out. It's like a 5-minute video. Honestly, it's worth the read. He just scrolls through his messages. It is worth looking at. It's that insane. It's hard to even put into words how insane it is unless you actually see it. But basically, here's a little sneak peek. I'm not gonna read this whole interaction out, but
he told me, baby girl, me. He told me straight up that he masturbated 5 times in a row to my Instagram picture, and I fell in love with that attention because no one has ever given me that attention. Babe, I do that too. I just thought you think it's gross when I say that. Baby girl, he knew what I wanted without me saying it. Me. That's why I don't. You don't know what I masturbate every photo you send me. Baby girl, yeah. Me. Everyone multiple times religiously. What the fuck? Okay. Alright. Okay.
But she's telling him how the guy she cheated on him with apparently was beating off to her Instagram pics 5 times a day, and in order to defend
5 times a day? Damn.
himself, he's like, wait, babe, I also jerk off to your Instagram pics, but I thought you would think that's weird, or I would have told you. Just an insane back and forth. And these aren't even the worst messages, okay? That's just to give you an idea of how absurd these messages are. So honestly, if they weren't so absurd, I would have at the very least posted me reading them all out on here, but I genuinely don't think I can. So that's kind of it for the MrTLexify situation. Absolutely absurd. I think we've seen a lot of leaked messages over the years from many different YouTubers and streamers or whatever. I think these were by far the most embarrassing and absurd messages that I've ever seen leaked before.
This is a very interesting world that you guys are living in right now. I'll be honest with you.
Like, I actually can't believe he willingly released these to the public to like prove something against her, and it's just like, honestly, you would have been better off not doing that. I don't know. I don't think it helped you. But anyways, next up, this one's pretty quick. We have Kai's cameraman. This one just
Oh, here it is. Here it is. This is the Kai one.
happened. There's really not that much information on it. We did read the messages on stream. There was only like, I don't know, 20, 30 messages. It really isn't that much to talk about. For one, nobody even knows who this guy is. It was hard for me to even find out the guy's like name and username and stuff. He just keeps getting referenced as Kai's cameraman or the AMP camera guy. Like, this guy doesn't even have his own fucking identity. No one knows who he is. I mean, don't get me wrong, the messages were wild, especially like the last like five to 10 of them were pretty insane. I did tweet out a little screenshot of them, of a couple of them that I thought were funny. But at the end of the day, I don't think anyone really cares about this guy. Kai already said that he fired him. I feel like the situation is kind of handled, and this guy just really isn't a big name for people to be talking about. You know what I mean? I feel like if this exact same situation with this guy had happened with a bigger name, then it would be more talked about. But because like nobody really knows much about this guy, it just didn't really blow up as much. And it is also still fairly new, I guess. So, you know, maybe more information could come out. But that's kind of it for that. Finally, last but not least, let's wrap it up with Dr. Disrespect. We all know the story on him. He's been quiet for about a month, but he finally broke that silence today with a picture. I'm gonna put the picture up on the screen so you can see. It's him sitting down playing chess, but
I ain't gonna lie though. The quote retweets on this image itself is the most funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I saw the quote retweets on this one, man, dude, that shit was hilarious. Dude, the comment sections for this was also pretty funny too as well.
you will notice if you look on, you know, your side of the board, you're actually playing checkers, and you guys know the old saying, you're playing checkers, I'm playing chess or whatever, implying that like, oh, I'm way smarter than you, I'm playing chess, I'm 2 steps ahead of you, this is all part of my plan, you know what I mean, I got everything in control, you're just an...
A funny thing in the Kai case is that a website reporting on the news got the wrong Chris and wrote about Chris next door. What? A AMP member? What the fuck? Okay.
Idiot over there playing checkers, you know what I mean? That's kind of how the saying goes. Now, I don't really know what he expected the response to this tweet to be, but it did not go as planned, okay? Now, I will give him some credit because he did definitely double down, triple down, quadruple down in the comments of this, because he was firing back on everybody in the comments, making fun of him, like he was coming right back at him. The most notable one is probably this one right here. Someone said, "Is this you playing with a minor?" And he responded, "Good one, she/her. The internet will never fix your real threat, depression." Now, while I do agree with him on the pronouns, I just don't think that shit will ever make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense. Unfortunately for Duck, we have bigger things to talk about than the pronouns of this person, okay? Basically, the reason I said this one in particular was notable is because what seems to be happening here is Doc is starting his comeback, and I guess he's gonna kind of really lean into that, like, far right, alt right, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a political guy. Basically, you know, like the Andrew Tate, Sneeko ideology, whatever you call that. He's trying to come back and like appeal to that demographic. Not the first time we've seen someone do this. Won't be the last time we see someone do this. Honestly, I could see it working. Actually, I do think it's working. It kind of makes sense for him to try that angle if he does want to come back. But circling back to the original tweet, I don't think this was the best way to do an announcement of it. I'm gonna put some of the quotes of his tweet of the people bullying him in response to it up on the screen. They're hilarious, I'm not gonna lie. There's some really good edits to this. I don't know what he expected. Like, if you even look at his original pick, if you look at like
this one was the most, I'm gonna be honest with you, this was the most fucking hilarious one I've ever seen. I thought this was funny. This one was funny. This one was fucking hilarious.
Angle of it, it makes it look like he's playing against a kid. You know what I mean? Like the angle, like it just looks like a small person sitting there, and like it was just, I think maybe a little bit poorly thought out. I know in his head he probably thought this pic was like so hard. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna look so cool posting that, but it completely backfired. And I don't really even understand what he's trying to imply with this, because you know, in the original saying, you're playing checkers, I'm playing chess, it implies that like you're smarter than the other person, you're 2 steps ahead of them, everything is all going to plan, you got it all figured out, and they're trying to keep up, but they're just...
Oh, really? The comments have gotten under his skin? Damn, dude. And apparently he's coming back to streaming too as well, so I don't know what he's gonna do there, in my personal opinion. I don't know.
You're just dumb and they're playing checkers. You know, you're playing an advanced game like chess, right? I don't really think that applies to his situation. Like, what exactly is your plan here? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, you wanted people to think you're a predator so that you could make a comeback as some sort of, like, I don't know, far right, you know, icon or something. I honestly don't really understand what the play is here. Like, clearly you didn't want to get caught. You got caught, and now you're trying to like pretend like it was all part of some master plan.
You think so? He might come back on kick. You think so? Oh man, dude, that'd be interesting, to be honest.
And he certainly has some support, a lot of support, honestly.
And I don't know, dude. This gonna be crazy.
Streams will be just fine. He'll pull solid numbers. He'll probably get some more troll messages for like a month or so, and then
we all know for a fact. When the moment he comes back to streaming, right? He's gonna have the biggest viewership on his return stream, 100%. Because you want to know why? It's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna clip the VOD or so, right? Are gonna clip videos or snippets or so of the VOD itself, and gonna post it to Twitter or onto YouTube for commentary channels and all this other shit. So
those people are going to get tired of doing that, and they're going to move on, and probably everything's going to be back to normal for the guy. Honestly, the only thing I think that could really change anything for him is if these messages ever get leaked, and it's just like absurd stuff being said, because, you know, he obviously downplayed it, but everyone else that has seen the messages has completely cut off ties with the guy, so there must be something in there crazy, more than he's, you know, letting on. But I'm not sure, because of the legality of everything, if we'll ever see those messages. But he certainly has supporters. People have become like weirdly obsessed with defending him, even more than he defends himself. I think now he's gonna come back and maybe defend himself a little bit. But at first, this guy wasn't even defending himself, but a lot of other people were like stepping up and defending him. They even made up the girl's age. Just so we're clear, the girl's age, I say girl, it's never even been clarified whether or not it's a girl, and you know, we did see his messages to that cam girl. There is no guarantee that it was even a girl. There's been no actual evidence or anyone who knows the situation. Nobody has ever said the age of the individual involved. These people just like randomly made up the girl was 17 years old, I guess to try to like make it sound a little bit better so they could defend him. You know, because I guess, I mean, yeah, I will agree, it does sound better if she was 17 compared to like 12. Don't know if that's the hill that people really want to be dying on. I'm not sure why people are going out of their way to like say that and defend the guy. You probably got to be pretty weird yourself to do that. But yeah, it looks like he's getting ready to make his comeback. I've seen how these stories go plenty of times. I think he's gonna be all right. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think too much is gonna change, but you know, we'll wait and see. So anyways, that is it for our Predator recap. I don't know, man. This past week has just been absurd. I feel like I could have made like 7 videos this week. I didn't even talk about the Moist Critical versus Sneeko debate. I'm not even gonna get into that.
Oh man, the moist and critical thing. I'm not gonna get into that either, to be honest. You know.
That was a crazy statement made by both of them. I think they both lost on that one. I try to give things a little bit more time so I can, I like to wait like an extra day or two usually to see if like any more information will come out, you know what I mean? So I can make like a better educated video. But I felt like every day something would happen. I'd be like, okay, let me wait a day or two, see if anything else comes out. And something new would happen. I'm like, well, damn, like now I got to talk about the new thing and then something new. And I'm like, well, shit, it's too late to talk about the thing from 4 days ago now.
That's very true. There's been so much shit happening. Even for me, it's kind of hard to keep up. Or so it'd be like, oh shit, I should probably make a video on it. But it's like, oh fuck. But then like this video's gonna be late, so I gotta fucking do this. I gotta render it. I gotta make the thumbnail. I gotta post it up the next following day.
3 new things have happened. So I feel like I just got caught up in way too much stuff happening and not enough time to cover it all. I hate coming out with like wrong information or like rushed information and then something new happens and the story is different. So I try to wait a little bit to get a little bit more information. But yeah, that's kind of a little bit of a recap of this whole week. I don't know how long this video is, maybe like 15 minutes or something. I try to get through it as quick as possible, but there was a lot to go over. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like rating if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're not already. Follow me on Twitter. Links in the description down below. Check out my last video if you missed it. Other than that, have a good day and peace out.
Yep. Well, that was a very I didn't know about I didn't know about this one or so specifically. Which one was it again? It was I think the one, yeah, it was in the one in the middle, the second one, besides the Chris Tyson one. It was this individual right here. I didn't even know anything about this one specifically. I thought this one in the middle was the craziest one, especially with this this weird bucket hat man.
Kids, that's what needs to be figured out. But anyways, that's enough about Chris. Next up, we got MrTLexify. Now this is more
T-lexified. Interesting. I'll take a look at the things or so on Twitter, but I can't show them on here or so. But anyways, that's the end of the video. Anyways, you guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff, and yeah, what a crazy year. And the year isn't even over yet. This is probably the most craziest year. It's like the year of the Predator or something. I gotta say, craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Craziest thing.